Hey there, folks. So, as we are plowing through Unit 3, we are into Activity 3, and as I stated at the very beginning of this unit, this is one of my favorite activities that I have done over the years in this course um, because I can see it working around me. And what I would highly encourage you to do is to find someone that you can talk to that has chosen a partner for a number of years, and I want you to ask them questions about how they met, what initially attracted them to one another. Everyone has a different story, and what I want you to be thinking about in the background is the connection to the theories. And so I brought them up here on the screen so that you can see them. These are in the content for Unit 3, Activity 3. And so having gone through the theories in this activity, thinking about, who I'm attracted to, or I have a partner, and what attracted us to one another. So within this unit, there are a number of theories that relate specifically to choosing a partner. And so having gone through these, I actually chose social homogamy, that I was looking at it and thinking about where have I seen that, or what does that look like. And I, of course, am at a different stage than you, so I may have some different ponderings having had experience. And so when I looked at social homogamy, it says, according to this theory, people select their partners based on similarities in appearance, education, age, race, values, and ideas about roles. So I asked a few of my colleagues, and they told me that they met their partner when they were in university. And so I did as well. While my husband and I did not go to the same institution, we were at the institution. I went to Carleton University, and he was actually a ceremonial guard, and they stay in the residence during the summer. And so that's actually how we met. So we were in the same place, around the same age, and even though he was not studying at that university, that he was educated himself. And so I created a question about social homogamy. I was thinking about, if I look back to the majority of my university friendships, the majority of them married someone that they met in university, and they got married soon after university. So I was married after I had graduated from Teachers College, and right before I got a job. So when I look at that question, so the question I created for my inquiry, because I really want to think about it, I asked some people how they met their partner, and specifically at school, and was just looking at how mate selection theories work. So the question I created, given my own circumstance of meeting my partner in university, and then going forward, looking, at other people, and all the weddings that I went to were people who met people in university, because that's where my friendships were, and just looking at who was meeting whom. So the question I created is, does the number of students married during or after university demonstrate social homogamy theory? So I looked it up, of course, using my stellar research skills, and found another article. And so I found this article that states the number of students marrying students studying the same subject was actually increasing. So what I'm really asking is where people are meeting their partners. Um, because that's the big question. I have some people who have met their partner on using the internet dating sites. I've had people meet people in a lot of different circumstances, and that's the big question, is where did you meet your partner? Because for those who are looking for a partner, they're looking for those opportunities. So some of the stats that it had in here were among 50 college majors that had identified that 10% of married partners had both college degrees, had the same major. So only 10%. But when you start looking at which majors were more likely to get married, it was religious studies, general studies, and this is what I found interesting. If there was a male nurse, which is dominantly female students, that they are more likely to get married, as well as engineers. So female engineers in an engineering program are more likely to marry an engineer. More likely because when there's few of a particular gender, that they often have a field in which to pick, and they have a lot in common with them. Um, So what this article, one article, let's be honest, it's not a wide sweeping study to confirm that being in university, you're more likely to marry someone in university. But I was talking with a colleague and we identified that being in university was one component. So you find people with like-mindedness, that you have lots in common. But one of the key factors that we identified was that we were at the right time. So if I was unmarried now and I was working at PECI where I work, I may not have the same opportunities in my job right now to find a partner because the timing may not be right. I may find an unmarried or unattached individual, but maybe they're not in the right place or time for that situation. And so when I was in university, everybody was sort of moving on to that next stage. What we've been looking at in this particular unit is the idea of leaving home, and then you move into the adult stage of your life. And maybe at the end of university, seeing that I was 20, 23, 24, I was in the right place and the right time to look at a long-term relationship. So those are just some of my ponderings. I'd highly encourage you to ask people, adults in your life who have been in a long-term relationship, how they met or what they had in common, or anything that relates to, if we were to go back to those mate selection theories, if you're looking at these, what characteristics are you looking for, and can you say that their attraction to one another is because of one of these theories? So try it out on your own. See what things that you're looking into or why people are attracted to one another.